Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Shadowhand. Let's continue. So we're going to the graveyard, God's Acre, in which Shadowhand unearths a plot in the graveyard. Let's hop in because these chapters are just getting longer and longer. Okay, so I was thinking Peregrine was the other thief, but it seems to me like Peregrine is coming back into the story now as a conspirator, and very possibly Peregrine is plotting with the magistrate to steal Darkmoor estate when he was supposed to be managing it and securing it for our main character, Shadowhand. Well, you followed? There were prowlers in the hedges, I'm sure of it. And what of it, Flush? That's an interesting, I guess, nickname. We really don't have enough dialogue and characterization of people to give them nicknames. You know, I've bought most of the ruffians hereabout, as well as taking fees to prosecute them. The best of both worlds. So he's being bribed, A, to let people off, and B, to prosecute people that don't pay enough of a bribe. Well, yes, but that also makes me uneasy. They're a slippery lot and may turn, untrustworthy by names. Yeah. You make me chuckle. They're on the take, just like us, don't forget it. And with that reminder of our common humanity, could I trouble you for more coin? We will both reap the rewards. I must be cautious. It's close to my charge, Lady Cornelia, reaching a majority. Someone could read the ledgers. So he's been funneling Lady Cornelia's money to the magistrate. And what of it? Too late now, my dear Flesh, as you have enjoyed redistributing a fair portion of the Darkmoor fortune already. The horse has bolted, but the fine brandy and clothing you sport continue to elevate you above your station. So then this really gets back to the question about Maria, and why would she just escape and not tell Lady Cornelia what's going on if she knew anything about Peregrine's misdeeds? It makes it feel like there's a whole side story happening with Maria, unless Maria is going to come back, you know, a Deus Ex Machina at the end of the story with, like, I don't know, some kind of foreign police that terrorist Peregrine for his misdeeds, but I kind of doubt it. That would be very weird. Since you may well be discovered soon, you may as well enjoy it while it lasts. I still think I can stop Lady Cornelia from signing out if she discovers us. Singing out if she discovers us. There are other secrets at Darkmoor Hold I can use against her. Yeah, it seems like there's multiple blackmail materials or multiple secret affairs happening inside Darkmoor. And by affairs I mean the general affairs, not romantic liaisons, but maybe that too. Discover us? I think you mean discover you, dear chap. Make no mistakes. It's not as if we were really in this together. Alright, so there's Rich Turnpike. So I guess I was wrong that this was Peregrine, which I wonder if maybe it's just that it's the same head model that's been masked, and that's why I thought that. It might also be that Rich Turnpike has a connection with Lady Darkmoor, like a secret father or a secret brother, but it's kind of not enough story for that kind of twist too. It's gonna happen fast and furious if it does. Blast that crooked beak and that shifty second son of a nobody. They are feathering their own nest at the expense of all of the rest of us, noble and ruffian alike. Yep. I wouldn't be surprised if some criminal would just shoot the magistrate and Peregrine. That would be the right response the second you knew he was both taking coin to prosecute people and taking coin to as payment to not prosecute people. Playing both sides will get you shot in criminal activities more often than not. So we need to find Dred's map, which are we gonna go on some weird treasure hunt at this point? We need to collect 19 stars and defeat the chapter boss. This is a bad way to start because what that tells us is that we are going to end up struggling to get everything done. We'll have to make sure we win quite a lot. And see, this is just like completely unfair. I think in the first turn we should just hand reset. Like, let's just think about this. You need 3 masks. There are no masks on this pile. There are no masks here. So I could struggle over and over again to try and get cards to reveal these cards. And I could try, and for YouTube content I should try. But yeah, I think we should just play a little smarter and just start over again. At the very least, what we'll do is we'll reveal this so we can figure out which of these piles might be the better pile to see. The way these cards are piled down here also seem to imply that you would only be able to play 1 card, so that's a stack of 5, 6, yeah, 5, where this is a stack of 6. Alright, does that help any further? I mean, well, you can play that one. Well, we can't give up every time, can we? So, we'll just try. But yeah, this definitely feels like what they've done here is create a scenario where no matter what you do, you're gonna have a significant amount of struggle because there's just not that many face-up cards that you can play. And I imagine what happened here in the development of these games is that they had almost randomly made piles of cards. And maybe they're supposed to be in somewhat of a picture. Was that supposed to be a bat? Didn't really look like a bat, but maybe. But I imagine what they did is they play tested those cards so that the piles to see which ones were the most difficult, and then even if one was drastically more difficult than the next closest one, they probably just put it in a linear order and then put them in the chapters in that order. So the easiest piles would have been at the very beginning, and now that we're halfway through the game, it may be close to 100% difficult piles of cards going forward. Which, yeah, that could get frustrating very fast. And there's if we need 18 stars and there's 8, that leaves you 6 of these subchapters you could get 2 stars in. And other variations on that theme, I suppose. But yeah, this is really showing itself to be killer in that there's, yeah, now all I can play is an 8 or a 0. Oh, this is crazy. Where are these face masks? Nine, 0, 9, 0. I have like 12 choices, and even if I was to open this right now, there's a high chance of failure. Is there supposed to be something here that would... Yeah. Because this is in a graveyard, is this supposed to be really, really hard, or is it just that the game has decided to be really, really hard? Or is it because my luckiness is happening, cards are falling down, and those were the cards I needed? Yeah, I'm not seeing really any advantage in lighting up any of the other cards. Just generally try and focus on getting rid of these cards and unlocking this. That's about all I think you can do. And I could shuffle now. Probably should just shuffle. Nine, 0, 9. Take the spare card. And this is why I want to start putting points into just getting lucky draws on the deck, because that's really the only thing I think that's gonna help me succeed going further, because this is quickly turning into a bit of a nightmare. One, 2. Nothing more can be done there. 8, 9, 5, 4, 5, 4. Finally. 5, 6, 5. See. 8, 7, 8, 9, 0. 1 here. 1 there. Two. 3 or 1. I think 1 there's the better one. Then 7, 6, 7. Turn 0, 1, 2, 3. 1 does nothing. 6 gets rid of something. 4. Yeah. 2 or 3 attempts just at the start here to get this done. And see, that was, if there was going to be a warm-up game, that would have been it. And we're getting, again, just a standard background and pretty boring sound effects. Now, this is shocking because there's music playing in the background of the cutscenes. So why is this music never used in the actual game? Why does it not fade in after a couple minutes of silence and then play fairly quietly and then wait a couple of minutes and then fade out when it's done and then wait a couple of seconds and fade back in? It's not like I clicked some button to turn off the music or anything. Otherwise it wouldn't be playing now, I would assume. I can see why the graveyard is a good clandestine meeting place. Nobody would come here willingly after dark. I think I hear someone. Time to hide in the bushes and see if I hear anything useful. Captain, what barnacle did you crawl out of? Eavesdropping? Might have been. Got my land legs back. Thought I'd take a stroll in the churchyard. See if my friends here, dead in their earth, bays. What is that word? Baths? Heard anything of note. See if my friends here dead in their earth baths, comma, heard anything of note. I suppose that's how that sentence is supposed to be read. You test my patience, you old salt. I expect you heard those two conspirators just like I did. They have the power and their own and own the gallows. Or at their mercy, damn their eyes. I feel like we're gonna find out that both these guys are gonna end up joining Shadowhand's crew and I mean being friendlies. I don't know if that's really gonna help or change anything in actual gameplay. It may just be a storyline thing. Aye, it's an ill wind blowing through the headstones, alright. But I say, why not take some of their booty for ourselves? Because of the risk to life and limb. While my associates from the landing party need their instruction from our next shipment from France either way. I usually stash a map for them alongside my dear departed friends here. Don't tell a soul. So dread is a smuggling map hidden near a gravestone. I must find it. So we're stealing from thieves. And I just have to assume that the gravestone here is very much the same as the gate with the lockpicks, which, remember that concept? That sure came and went. It's just a pile of old bones. Keep searching for Dread's map. Alright, well this is, again, a map that's really challenging. Yeah, I don't get it why there is just like no music playing now. Like the music audio is on. It's at the maximum. I never changed it. So it really just feels like they kind of dropped the ball. And they could even be playing the whole soundtrack of all the music from the game and just looping through it. And that would maybe be a little awkward. Or they could toggle the music on in one game and then in the next subchapter don't toggle it on so it doesn't get too repetitive. But the just direct removal of it does not really work. I think what we need to do here is probably do this. Just try and use up as much of these cards as possible. You know what? Do this instead, and then do this instead. And yeah, I'll just use 2 spare cards for the moment. And then that should be enough. It's probably about as good as it's going to be as far as shuffles. 4, 9, 8, 9, 8, 7, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8, 7, 6, or 9. I guess you get rid of 2 cards with 7, 6. And then, let's see. That didn't help that. Yeah, I don't see how you're going to get a higher gold multiplier on these later decks until a potential point where you just have a lot of points into your assistive techniques, where you're just automatically able to start combos with even less cards, and you're just gonna always get the right cards no matter what. There may be an idea here where you even would have to start a whole new save file and dump all of the points you would earn into one specific trait instead of putting 1 point in everything and then putting a ton of points into getting gold. Although I wasn't wrong to put a ton of points into getting gold, because there is that achievement for having 3,000 gold and not spending it. And so we'll at least accomplish that. One, 2, 3, 2. Do we have anything else we can do? No. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Got a bunch of gold. 1, 0, 9. And then we've got 13 turns to get rid of these 2 cards. And then the 2 cards under it. 1, 3, 3, 3, 6, 5, 4. Gets rid of that one. 0, 2, 0. 1. There we go. 5. There we go. We didn't have to use our ability. I thought we may have to. And in a game like this, when you get 45 extra gold, then your score combo could help a little bit more. But gold really is a secondary idea. See, this is just a totally different song, I think. Yeah, I'd be really interested to see a listing of just how many songs are in the soundtrack of Shadowhand for them not to use any of it. And I think soundtrack probably should play a larger role than you would think in a solitaire game. Solitaire being a game that is going to have extremely limited sound effects compared to like a first-person shooter, where you're going to have running, gunning, explosions, enemy grunting, yelling, screaming. It's just, in comparison, a solitaire game is going to have maybe a lucky sound effect, a match sound effect, a draw card sound effect. You can't do that sound effect. Maybe a couple more extra special reward sound effects. and that's about it. It would be quite fewer than what you would actually have to make in a regular game, and that kind of highlights aspects of video games making that most people probably wouldn't think about. And if you ever look at like a low effort video game on Steam, it almost certainly has only 3 or 4 sound effects in total, or less than a dozen, whereas a AAA video game is going to have hundreds if not thousands of sound effects, things that subconsciously people recognize but most people would not even notice. The medical establishment always has a need for fresh corpses, and I suppose this global ghoul is supplying them. So we have a body snatcher, just kind of completely not connected to the story, to the point where it would kind of made more sense that in the very first chapter you would have walked through through a graveyard, a different graveyard, and run into a body snapper. 10% defense on land weapons. Got a real duel going on here. Resist pierce by 30%. Deflects powder 30%. What has he got as far as items? Quicksilver potion, take 2 extra turns next time. And strong tea, 20% of the maximum health. And like these consumables, I suppose you should use them when you need to, but you really don't get an opportunity to buy them and replenish them. It feels like a better way to balance a game like this would have been to have a pity amount of gold or items that you win every time you lose. Something to try and balance it out instead of just losing and having to start all over again. Or more rewards when you use something that when you use an item you get the item back. Frankly, you could probably implement a system where you replenish each of these items after each duel, or after 3 or 4 duels or 3 or 4 games. Yeah, kind of in the direct opposite way of the audio sound effects. There's a little too many visual sound effects for items, but not too many. And each of these items are doing something slightly different. The only thing I guess you could have done is the steak and ale pie probably is not too different from the health potion, so you could have just had a health potion plus 1. Alright. 7. This is probably a great one for a combo. Let's see. 5. Not sure which ones I can actually match, though. Yeah, there's a lot of face-up cards, but a lot of them are not actually playable. 4. Do we want to go ahead and do this, or do we want to do this? Let's do this. 8, 7, 8, 7. Then, yeah, I don't think I can do anything more with the spares. Should I have just started with this? And see, he's defensive to land weapons, and that's a sea weapon. Okay. So, just take that. And I don't think there's anything more that can be done. take that. Let's see. Kind of in a bad position here. That makes it a little bit of a better position. So I could play a 7 and then do 8 and then 9 and then I can play a 9. Undo that actually. I suppose if I just clicked on all of these spares in a row, and would that increase my combo like crazy? See, I don't even think I can use the accuracy essence now, because if I'm using it now, then that's something that's just gonna be needed later. The amount of health these characters have is ridiculously high. I could do a 1. Or I could do a 9. Okay. Let's see. That. Until we hit this 4, we can't open this path. And I'm just like running out of health very quickly now. Three, 4, 3. Yeah. So I've got to just eat this food to get back to where we were. Then we'll hit this. He's drunk this strong tea. And really it is just this war of attrition where everybody's gonna use all their items. Might as well go this route. Alright, I'm gonna end one turn and then I'm gonna have to probably use some cheats here. Alright, I'll give it, I guess, one more turn. Alright. That's what I was hoping we would have, is we would start this one out. 5, 6, 5. 26, we need to do basically 49 in this next attack if we can. A 9 wouldn't do anything. The Joker would. Joker, 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's see. 1, 2. And then 1, 2. Then 1, 0. And then 9, 8, 7, 8, 7, 8, 7, 8, 7, 6, 7, Joker 4, 3, or 4, 5. Joker 4, 3, 2. That's 42 damage. With the defense though, I'd still need one more hit, but that does, unless he just deflects all of this. Like, and that would be the irony here, is that I'm gonna just waste all of these cards and then he's gonna deflect it all. There I go, 40. Let's see. Let's go ahead and shuffle. 0. Can't hit any of these 9s. I think I've got it. Let's see, 6. I guess I just need to make sure I get enough of charge before he kills me. Which he may still be able to do that. Like, oh man. They really are very hard. But I guess that's what I get for playing on very hard mode. What can I say? I'm doing this to myself. Okay. So we have a 9 right now, we can't play anything, so I'm gonna start with this one. And then we'll see if we can pull this off. 5, 6. And then 6 could go 7, but I don't think there's an 8. So you go 5, 4. Then if I could go back to 6, that would be great. Or do I want to play something now? I mean, I feel like if I played a 7 now, I could go 7, 8, 9, and then not back to... Yeah, maybe. 7, 8, 9, 0, 9, 8, 7, and then if I was to play an 8 now, I could go 8, 7, 8, 9. I think that's worth it. 8, 7, 8, 9, 0, 1, 0, 1, and then 2, 1, 2, 1. And then if I was to play a 7 here, I could go, yeah, 7, 6, grab that, 5, 6, 7, 6, And then I could play a 5 now, which would be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, 0. We've got 50 damage potentially here. And well, I could do a Joker. I want to hold on to the Jokers. Can't really do a shuffle, can't really do a card destroy. So 50 damage, does 45 damage, puts me at that initial starting advantage where now we're going to have a whole nother hand here because I nearly did the entire deal. Okay. Here we go next. Get a 1 there. And that's kind of it. So, start with that. And then 0. Either reveal an 8 here or reveal 1 here. I think you do that. And then you do that. Then you do that. Is there anything else I want to do? Yeah, I could do this 9, 8, 7, 8. And then back to 7, I guess that's not too bad. 8, 7, 8. And then we could go 9 instead of going to 7. And he's used like all of his items now, so we can just play normally. We can build up our Joker piles fairly nicely. 5, and then do we go 5, 4, 5, 4? Yeah, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7. Take this. Take this. 8, 9, 8, 7. There we go. Yeah, and the fact that I'm succeeding now really, once again, just makes, kind of highlights how random the thing is. Random the deals are. Whereas this game is long enough and difficult enough that I think these could have been puzzles, well thought out, well tested puzzles which had real solutions to them. I guess it probably is a case that I'm just not the real target audience for solitaire games, so I'm an outsider looking in. I would not actively, intentionally try and play Regency Solitaire or Shadowhand or any solitaire game habitually day after day, whereas I have met and seen people who literally just play solitaire every day, particularly like free cell and things that came with Windows, and so that was their standard game and their only game they played. Whereas my lifestyle as a gamer is much more about playing a game and then moving on to the next game and getting new entertainment, new and different and varied forms of entertainment. And certainly it's not just solitaire. I've seen people that are obsessed with chess and only want to play chess. And I've seen people obsessed with a few other games. Usually it's pretty broadly known games. It'd be very weird to run into somebody who was obsessed with something that nobody else played. I didn't even know I was gonna win there. But whatever. 36 gold, a quicksilver potion, which I don't know if that really is going to help me much as an item. And I guess we could go back and look at equipment, but yeah. We can drag a piece of equipment here. Some of these equipments like this is probably not going to even be that useful. Yeah, we need a grog bomb plus 7 plus 10 or something. Something that would really do more damage than fire. 5 fire damage. Yep. And I need to just keep on dumping cards into finesse. I'm still confused about how you actually get experience and when you can actually level up. Like, if I went back and played all of chapter 1, would that let me level up because you level up during each chapter? Or do you only get a level up the first time you beat a chapter, and so you will only be at a maximum level? Is there just a secret experience? Or is it tied to gold? Like, without that being explained, I don't know if you can actually grind through this game as much as you might want to. It's probably better to clear more cards than it is to... That way you have some variety there. 5, 8, 7, 8, 7. Yeah, you literally have only 4 options in this deal. That's really, really difficult, and it really makes it feel like the back half of this game has to start getting easier. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to drop down to normal, because if we're spending 20-30 minutes trying to do one subchapter, and there's 8 subchapters in each chapter, and we're doing that very consistently, that's gonna be unacceptable. Let's not use that. 0, 3, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 0, 1. Take your pick. 0, 9, I guess. There's no reason not to take that. Is now the time to shuffle? Probably. 9, 8. And then see if we can change that to a 7. Alright, 6, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2. Oh, I could have gone 1, 0. Spare card. Should we use it now? Guess we should. Spare card. Do we use it now to get that? No. Do we use a joker to get that? No. We have 6 more turns. Hmm. 8. This is a bad situation to be in. Having 4 of the exact same thing. This is better. Because that gives you more of a diversity spread, but yeah, this is not going to work. We're gonna just game over, and we need the stars in this challenge, so yeah, you do that, you get no stars. You really can't afford to get no stars. And that's just another example of the game starting you off in a bad position. Having 3 cards of the 3 cards you need being the exact same digit. 4, 5, 4. So now you have like a 4-4, and we've seen tons of other 4s. Should we reshuffle now? Or wait? Change that to a 3, and then that changes both cards to a 3. I don't think there really is an advantage to not just doing the one on the left first. Zero. You could do a 1 and a 2 and a 3. That really wouldn't help much. Now is the time to shuffle. 0, 1, 0. Okay, I think this will work. 8, 7, 6, 7. Do we go 5, 4, 3 at this point? I guess you go 5, 4, 3. Then, yeah, that sets us up nicely. 2, 1, or 2, 3. 2. Okay. Do I want to use this now, or do I think I could get another charge? I think you just use this now. There. It's another joker card, that's nice. 8, 7, 6. Doesn't get us anywhere. 8, 7, 8. 9. 8. 9. 8. 1 does nothing for us. We have 12 more chances. 3 does nothing for us. 7. 7, 6. Reveals a bunch, so we should take that. And then 5, 4. And I could get a 1 to get to 0. And that's it. 6. Alright. So yeah, use the spare card to get to 0. Or I guess maybe use this spare card to get this 2. It's just a pile of bones. And obviously we're not going to find the map until probably the last sub-chapter. Alright, so now we go 3. Or 3. It kind of doesn't matter. That's the only option anyways. 6. 5. Are you losing a turn every time the card turns over and it gives you a spare card, though? You might be. So it might be very counterintuitive to throw in a bunch of points towards getting more spare cards, particularly if you're not likely to use them. Okay, 9. Take this 8. Take this 9. Take either one of these 8s, doesn't matter. Take this 9. Take this 0. Take this 9. Take this 8. Take this 7. Take that 6, take that 5. Okay, good. So 6 options to find either a 0 or a 2. 3, 9, 0. Good. But that really did feel like one of these following action subchapters that should have been very easy to do on the first try. And I wonder if on very hard you're just never going to have that. I am very concerned that in the next couple chapters we're going to start banging our head against a wall. Alright, well, you take a 2, then a 3, then a 4, then a 5, and then a 4. Put that there, I guess. And I don't think there's anything else to do. We could reshuffle. Is there a better time to reshuffle? Probably not. We do now know the shovel is down there. Although we probably could have guessed that if we had looked better. So now we can do 3. And that's the only extra thing that helped with. Alright. Yeah. See. Guess we can't do anything. 4, 5, 6. Nothing more. 4, 8, 9, 0, 9. 0. I guess now we can go 1, 2. Uncover that. Yeah, I guess that helps. 2. Probably go with this 1 and end it there, because going with this 3 doesn't do anything. Next. 8. 8 pretty much has to go to 9, or it goes 8, 7, 6, 5. I guess that would be better. Is this 2 cards under here? Yes, but not directly under here where this one would have done that. There. 6. Then. Yep. Almost certainly the lantern has to be under this pile. I mean, it couldn't have been these 2 piles, and it would be weird if it was under this pile. But we are getting painted into a corner because of the suit lock. And we're gonna run out of options. There we go. 3, 2, 3. And there's a rat we're getting, which I guess that does make sense to get back to the rats. I think it's probably worth playing a spare here to do 6, 7, and then 8. Yeah, 6, 7, 8, 9. Zero, and then 1. That's not bad. And then we'll just play this. Another pile of bones. I could play the spare card here to go 5, 4, 5, and I probably should just do that. That way we can focus just on these 2 cards. 9, 0, 9, 1, 0. No joker. I don't even think it's probably worth it to use this ability here. We'll just play for a 0 or 2. Almost certainly we'll get it. So we have 4 more stars, so theoretically we could do pretty badly as far as the stars. Like 1 star here, 1 star here, and 1 star here wouldn't do it, but if we got at least 2 stars in one of the next 3, and at least 1 star in the other 2, that would be fine. I assume you kind of have to find Dred's map, and of course you have to beat the chapter boss. Is that a ghost or someone's breath I can see in the moonlight? I think the living scare me more than the dead. Very just like simplistic lines of dialogue. Although, in fairness, if she had been talking to herself non-stop up until this point, that would have been a way to characterize her. Like, one of the first lines of dialogue you could say is, I'm always a chatterbox talking to myself. She could tell like stories of her past and how she grew up and what Darkmoor Estate was like for her. It would storyline writing wise actually be very interesting to have her give off this tale of growing up in a rich girl's fantasy, basically, and talking about all the horses and the dresses and the jewelry and how she was always treated so nicely and given the finest of things and the best of food, and then you would counter her fantasy that she would have lived in as a young girl with the actual occurrences that get revealed throughout the story of how Darkmoor Estate happens and how they were actually it was actually not that great of a place for other people as it would have been for her. That would be an interesting, like, dueling perspective story to try and write. Of course, that is also asking a lot for somebody who clearly just wants to make a decent solitaire game, and Shadowhand definitely falls under the category. so far as a decent solitaire game. So I can't really criticize it for not being a great novella. It is what I would... It is much closer to what it would be. Maybe we're gonna get to a point now where 100 health is the maximum, and like, or 99 health is the maximum, and we won't see their health going up any higher. That would be nice, frankly. I think you play this now. We need something revealed. I don't know what this is. I know this is just something that stops bleeding. And this rugged club doesn't even have a bleeding effect, so I'm not particularly concerned about that. 21 attack bonus. This probably is something you would want to throw at the very end of a duel. Because, yeah. See, Grog Bomb plus 5 versus a Grog Bomb plus 1. I knew that was eventually going to happen. Or at least I heavily suspected that it was eventually going to happen. Oh, that's a rat. Alright, so we're playing towards a rat and the poultice and potion. Which we probably should have had more encounters where this happened. Where the idea of getting more, replenishing your resources would happen. 6. I'm gonna take this because I don't want it ending up in the opponent's hand. And I don't think there's anything else I could have done anyways. So I've been stunned. Okay. But he still didn't end up getting the item. Right, now we'll throw that and that'll do 5 damage, nothing more. 876 or 89876. Well, that wasn't quite what I was expecting to do, but it worked fine. I feel like we need a diseased rat plus 5 at this point too. Although minor bleeding and poisoning might be much higher amount of damage now than it was before. Let's see. 3 damage, 3 turns, 3 damage, 3 turns. Yeah. It's really just doing 1 extra damage. Okay. And around we go again. Although, like, at this level, this is like probably one of the best sub chapters you could do, because you could just go around in circles forever and drag it out and fill up your inventory quite a bit. 8. Take the spare. 9. 8. I suppose my concern now would be just accidentally dying. So Should I eat the steak and ale pie? What? How much damage does this do? 14? Yeah. I think you have to eat that. 8. Yeah, it's still gonna probably take a couple turns before I clear everything off. 2, 1. Is it worth it to play a joker here? I think it is. 6, then 5, then 6, then 7, then 6, then 5, and then 4, then 5 again. Now is it worth it to trade a joker card for that? Yeah, I think it is. 8, then 9, then 0, then 1, then 0. And then we can use this 1 spare. No, we can't. We'd have to use another joker, so is it worth it? Another joker. Yeah, I think it is. To do 4, 3, 2. And then overkill. Plus 12. And that traded out a... traded out a lot of our joker cards for items. Now I just got an achievement for the rainy day fund, which means I have over 3,000 gold. And we have some bracers, finally, and a grog bomb plus 5, and a club that does 12, which we might actually consider equipping. So let's check this. We have a charge of 5, search for base damage of 12, and 20% chance to stun. Well, this is a 4, base damage of 12. So I don't think you quite want to swap that. We have the bracers, which that's it. The shop is closed right now, but probably by the time we get to the next shop, there will be a argument towards let's use the rat too. The rat is kind of useless. Do we have anything that we're getting a lot of? Boost defense 2. And yeah, still really nothing telling us how you level up. Let's keep playing. We've got all these charged, so that's good to go. 3. Do I want to use all of these to start with? Or do we want to kind of leave this charged? I think what you probably want to do right now is use them so that they'll recharge after the fact. 2, 1. So. Two. Do we want to go 1 or do we want to go 3? If I go 1, that wouldn't help us any. Okay. So now we're just working to recharge these for the final battle. And then we can go 7, 8 here. 7, 8 there. When we do get back to the shop, however, we're still going to not really have enough money to buy everything. Plus, there's just too many things that aren't really worth purchasing unless we are going to just run into having a ridiculously large amount of gold at the back half of the game, which we might. It is a little weird that we don't have more accessories, and it's a little weird that we don't have more active abilities, because it kind of felt like there was going to be a new accessory or active ability per each new chapter, and that has not come to pass. Well, either the shovel is under this, or the lantern is under this, and the shovel's under one of those, or both. Well, now we know where the lantern is, but we also see that there's a lock, which that is going to be a mess. Almost dropped my mouse in the floor. Yeah, this is maybe a time for a joker. I mean, you literally wouldn't have a better time for a joker to be played. I hate to play a joker, though. But we might as well, because we're probably going to end up resetting anyways. 9, 2, 4, 4, 2, 7, 6, 3, 8. That tells us where the lantern is, where the key is. We do know now where to focus, but we are going to have to just start all over again. You couldn't even go forward because we know Dread's map is here. 7, 6. Is this really the time to reshuffle and do everything? Probably. 6, 7, 6, 7, 6. Get rid of this card specifically, because that's what we're trying to get rid of. So we can shovel that. And then try and burn some cards. And that really shows us we're in a much better position now. And I could do a spare 4 for 3, 2, 3. I think that's worth it. And in the turn. Now it's 5, 6, 4, 3, 7, 8, 9, 9, 8, 9. I could do a spare 1 right now. 1, 0, 1. Is that worth it, or should I hold on to it? I think I'll hold on to it. Actually, I didn't even need to do that. I was not paying enough attention. 8, 7, 4. If you could go backwards and look at and use the cards you had already turned over, that would have been nice, but that'd probably be very cheaty. Messed up there. We have 12 more options to succeed as long as we pay attention. I think we have a decent chance of that. This is the time to use this. 0, 1, 0, 1. And we've got 2 3s. Should we use a joker on it? 3, 4. Don't know what's back behind this. It's hard to tell. 4, 5, 2, 2s. Good thing I didn't go for that. 8. Okay, so 4 more options or a joker gets us dredge cards. We maybe leave 1 card and then call it a day. We found dredge smuggling map. X marks the spot, or maybe that's just a signature. 3 more options to get a 1 or a 3. So do we need 3 stars? Not really. I don't think there's an achievement for getting all 3 stars in the chapter. Actually, I think there is. Alright, so let's just do it. Like, now we just have to get 3 stars in the final battle, which I think we probably will find that that's going to turn out to be way more difficult. And we're already an hour and 20 minutes into this chapter, so these chapters are getting longer and longer. The gravedigger has seen me disturbing the earth. He looks enraged. And so now we have dug hole. He is a stealth 100, 72 health though. Still not sure if stealth does anything at all. He has a smoke bomb. Opponents need more cards to start combos, last for the duration of the fight. Darn it. Diseased rat. Steak and ale pie. Weakens opponents' attack and defenses. So I think we probably snuff bomb him immediately. Let's see. For 3 turns. So now we need 3 cards to start a combo. That ruins everything. I'm just gonna end the turn. Yeah, I have wonder if we're just both in a terrible position. What is his weapon, by the way? A 16 base damage and 50% chance to stun. That's actually a pretty good weapon. Okay, 5, 4. Literally the only one thing. Yep. This is supposed to be interesting high action, and just because of the random deal, it's turned into incredibly boring. And his defense is being weakened with the snuff bomb was totally pointless. Is that a grog bomb? +5. And it just reshuffled the card. I guess we ran out of cards. 9, 0, 9. Now it feels like a real fight. Go ahead and shuffle. 8, 7, 8, 9, 8, 7. We'll have to keep an eye on our health still. How many charges does this take? 6? Yeah, that's quite a lot. And that brings his health back up. And there's another bomb we can throw if we have nothing better to do. One, 2, 3, 4, or 2. You're gonna have to risk it. 4 gives you a 9. 2 gives you a 3. No real reason to play this, I don't think. And see, now he's gonna stun me, and potentially he could, in the next hit, kill me. Okay. 10. Alright, now you play this. 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6. See, now, if this did plus attack damage, would that be 20 plus? That'd be crazy if this was 20 plus a base of 10 and did 30 damage. I don't think that's what they mean. Where it would like convert 20% into 20 points. I take that and that. We've got so many of these that we might as well use them. Do I want to play a Joker? I don't think so. You know what I need to do though is I need to drink the defensive thing. So is there anything more I can do? No. I'm gonna just increase my defense. Right. 2, 0, 9. Fire. Yeah. Still feels like I'm gonna lose. If I was to play a Joker now, I could go 3, 2. I could go 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. Probably not a bad idea. 3, 4, 5, 4. And then pierce damage. I could also go 8, 9, 0 and use this last Joker. And 8, 7, 6. Alright. 10 wins. So just throw the grog bomb and win. That really lowered our items as far as Joker cards, but we got where we needed to go. We also got the achievement for having 3 all perfect stars, 3 stars. So we now have a passive ability. Let's see. Owl Vision reveals face down cards, special cards under the mouse cursor. Black Coat reduces land weapon damage by 10%, 180 gold, and 1 smoke bomb, which you very well may only want to use at the end of the game, but I'll just use it at the next final boss fight. We also got another achievement for completing chapter 10, or yeah. I've done everything I can here. Now I have to map. At least I know the next smuggling location. Time to find Madame Mercy and get some advice. Still really questionable as to why you're listening to her. This powerful gavel may interest you. One tiny tap can decide a vagabond's fate. Come and find me on the high moor when you're ready. Removes targeted playable card and up to 2 nearby randomly playable cards. This is 58 charged, where this is 48 charge. Let's see, what does this do? Adds 8 or 9 stock cards plus a random card. Let's see. I think there's definitely an argument to... No, that is definitely not what we want to get rid of. I was thinking that did something else. Yeah. +1 undo. And it would be kind of crazy to buy this to start with. Let's go over this way. So we have a 12 and a 13 at the moment. So 12 here, 13, which would do charge for 6 versus 12 charge for 4. Yeah, I think most of those weapons are not worth considering. This coat reduces land weapon damage, where this coat reduces sea weapon damage. Have we seen anything that really indicates whether they use sea or land weapons more often? I'd say probably not. And then land, all of that. Yeah, I don't think any of those are worth considering. We do want to buy these, even if we are just going to end up using them. We have a lot of these. We did build up our inventory somewhat. And then, yeah, draw better stock cards. Find more jokers and spare cards. Start the hand with more cards face up. Well, it would be nice to get more joker and spare cards, but just cheat, draw better stock cards. I think that's where you're going with this. And yeah, once again, we only leveled up because we completed the chapter, which means the maximum level you're going to have is 22. Which, unless you can go back and grind and get other chapters, play them multiple times. I think there is an argument to buying this, and we have enough gold to do it, so we'll buy it and we'll replace that. because that gives us a little bit more control. And then I guess the question though would be, do we possibly want to replace this with this? We'll try it. Yep, it doesn't feel like we're going to get a lot of active abilities or passive abilities. And these items are options, so spending 1,000 now to get all of these isn't a terrible idea. It also doesn't feel like we're going to end up finding a ruffled shirt +1 or anything like that. It doesn't also, I would say, feel like you really could play as far as much of paper doll dress up on this. It doesn't quite feel like there's a full costume set for each character. It's just kind of more random items. And I would have to say just no to buying weapons. They're all too expensive. Again, if we are just running into a massive amount of extra cash, we'll buy weapons. Some of these are really old weapons that I sold because they're not even, shouldn't even be considered. Like this rapier now probably is nowhere as good as this. But there's also kind of not a good reason to sell weapons at this point. Because if you were to go and sell this, well, you can't, but if you were to sell it, you would only get like 50 gold anyways. So you could have easily just not had a shop or not have a sellability in the shop. Right. I don't know why it started us there. So the next one would be the curse stones, and then quite a few more chapters. And yeah, let's see, if I was to click here, none of these have been marked, so you've got no stars at all on normal, and none of these have been marked on relaxed, obviously. So I may be playing this completely wrong. It may very well be a case that I should have played the whole game on relaxed first, and then I would have skilled up and leveled up enough that I would have been at like level 22 before I even started playing on normal, and then play on normal a second time, and then skill up and level up to be somewhere around level 44, and potentially you could be at like level 66 or higher by the time you're done with the very hard. And that will be a pivotal moment, certainly, if we beat this game on very hard, and it gives me only the achievement for beating it on very hard, and there's still an achievement locked for beating it on normal and easy relax mode. That'd be very irritating. Although maybe you just have to do the final chapter on relaxed and normal mode, and that would be nicer, but kind of pointless. More than likely, if you don't get all 3 achievements at once for beating it on very hard in your first run, you would have to play the entire game multiple times. And yeah, I don't know if there's enough game here to justify doing that. The good thing about something like Shadowhand, though, is if you are not a hardcore solitaire player, if you really are going to only play one solitaire game every 4 or 5 years, Shadowhand in itself probably would satisfy that urge. maybe a little complicated to play one chapter in Shadowhand and then come back 6 weeks later and try and play the next chapter, because you'd probably have to relearn everything again, but doable. Alright, well, it's been an hour and 40 minutes. These are getting longer and longer. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.